It's been a while since Wings of Liberty was released, where we got to follow the futuristic western-like joyride of Jim Raynor and his raiders moving in to save Kerrigan from her Zerg-like ways. With the latest expansion, Starcraft 2 Heart of the Swarm, we finally get to unleash Kerrigan's inner hatred for Mengsk, which is rightfully placed. But is this expansion worthy enough to fulfill what Wings of Liberty set as a grand precedent for great storytelling and gameplay? Well, let's take a look. Heart of the Swarm takes place a short while after Wings of Liberty's ending. It starts off with Kerrigan in her old human form, who's forgotten nearly all memories of the Swarm and what she unleashed upon the galaxy. She is being tested for her ability to control Zerg minds within one of Valerian Mengsk's laboratories, only to later have catastrophic events occur.
A drone? Are you really asking me to take control of a Zerg mind? Do you know what could happen?
When this happens, Kerrigan becomes separated from Jim Raynor, learning from a Dominion newscast that Raynor has been captured and executed by Arcturus Mengsk, Valerian's father. Kerrigan chooses to go on a revenge spree to become the most powerful being in the universe, control the Swarm, and unleash hell upon Arcturus Mengsk and the Dominion. Throughout the story, you'll meet plenty of interesting and unique characters, much like you did in Wings of Liberty. However, you come to learn that the Zerg are a far different race than that of the Terran, and not only the ways of fighting, but in the ways of thought. You'll be very surprised with the way that the Zerg choose to fight and why they fight.
Isn't anything not Zerg a threat to us?
Do not question me, Isha.
One very exceptional character within the story is Abathur, who was created by the Overmind to design the Queen of Blades. Truly a fascinating character in the story. Blizzard's cinematics are by far the best and most over-the-top you'll see in any video game, rivaling that of even Final Fantasy cutscenes we've seen so far. So much effort and detail have gone into each and every nook and cranny, and it's very clear that Blizzard still has a love for great cinematography. Gorgeous character animations, explosions, and fun storytelling lead this title to still be one of the best looking real-time strategies on the market. In gameplay, the graphics are identical to that of Wings of Liberty's, however they still work perfectly for the type of game that it is. At any point in time, you can easily point out what unit is what on the screen, which is the most important thing next to aesthetics. You know when you see an Ultralisk, you know when you see a Zergling. Everything is very distinct and not cluttered with over-detailed models that would otherwise make it difficult to play the game to the best of your ability. However, one big gripe I've had since Wings of Liberty is still here. Blizzard has succeeded in making StarCraft 2 a game that can run on everything, but it just can't run well on anything. There's always odd frame drops at times you would never expect, and if you want the smoothest experience, you'll be forced to set the game to the lowest settings, and even then, the game still doesn't run well, as a lot of other titles that we've seen out there. However, in the campaign, I never found this to be game-breaking or destructive to my overall enjoyment of the title.
Get going. It's over with. There's not much time.
Different than Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm has you take control of Kerrigan or a hero unit in every single mission of the game. This adds a much more interesting RPG-like element for each hero. These heroes have their own special powers and abilities they can unleash on their foes. Throughout each mission, you'll be able to gather essence, similar to the Protoss and Zerg biomass that you collected during Wings of Liberty. With this, Kerrigan can level up, becoming more powerful, giving the game a true sense of progression. The great thing that they improved about this, however, is the fact that you can change Kerrigan's powers and bonuses between each and every mission, allowing you to prepare accordingly. Gameplay is nearly identical to that of Wings of Liberty's as you'd expect, controlling numerous units with their own set of traits and unleashing them on your enemies. All actions you make are responsive with absolutely no latency getting in the way due to low frame rate or other anomalies. The tight controls bring intense and unique enjoyment not found in other real-time strategies. Another added feature to Heart of the Swarm is the ability to customize your unit types. Want Zerglings to move faster or have more health? Well, you have the choice to do that anytime between missions thanks to Abathur, your Bioweaver who can shape your minions to be any way you wish. You'll also unlock evolution missions which are more permanent. In these you'll be able to test 2 very different styles that change your unit, and when you complete the mission, you choose which strand you want that will last you through the entirety of the game. When you've completed a mission, you'll be given the choice to redo any and all missions under the archives in the campaign menu. This allows you to retry all 27 missions on different difficulties for optimal results. Also, Heart of the Swarm seems to be considerably easier than Wings of Liberty. If you've beaten Wings of Liberty on Brutal, or are at least a gold level Zerg on the multiplayer ladder, I recommend you pick Brutal for a more enjoyable experience. Now of course, you can't talk about a Starcraft title anymore without mentioning just how grand the multiplayer is. There's a reason why Starcraft and Starcraft 2 have become the most popular esport titles within South Korea, and now spreading like wildfire in North America and Europe. In Heart of the Swarm there are 7 new units to be found. Terrans have received the Hellbat and Widow Mine, Zerg the Swarmhost and Viper, and then the Protoss now have the Mothership Core, Tempest, and Oracle. All units add new and unique flavor to the multiplayer and have offered new and more interesting strategies for old and new players, a welcome addition to the franchise. Players will be able to choose from a variety of multiplayer modes and don't have to worry about ladder anxiety anymore, for there is now an unranked mode to play around with. You'll receive experience for everything you do at the end of each multiplayer match, and will be granted levels which will unlock new skins and portraits. This gives players who are afraid of losing ladder points something else to look forward to, instead of worrying solely on becoming a diamond or master. And even after all of that, you have the arcade, which gives unlimited additions to the game. This ranges from FPS custom games to tower defense, from tug of war to full RPGs. There's even a Bejeweled custom game by the name of Starjeweled. This offers everyone that doesn't care for just playing multiplayer to enjoy limitless choices in game styles, making Starcraft not just an RTS, but a gaming hub for a slew of amazing game types created with the editor.
This is about you and me.
Until Minsk is dead, there can't be a you and me.
Everything within Starcraft 2 Heart of the Swarm feels strongly polished and cared for. Blizzard ensured that they would have the exciting new expansion that would indeed expand on all the ideas that they had in Wings of Liberty. With the unlimited amount of content also being added constantly to the arcade and the constant updates to keep the balancing of the game strong, this is by far one of the best real-time strategies out there. Starcraft 2 Heart of the Swarm expansion gets a 5 out of 5.
It's been a long time.
Like riding a bike.
Yep. Like riding a bike.
Thank you for watching my review. Have you had a chance to play Heart of the Swarm? We here at TGN want to know what you think, so post a comment below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, remember to thumbs up and consider subscribing. But until next time, my name is Akabane101, and I'll see you in the next review.